Hey, welcome back to the Bass Toofy again. So before we get into today's video, I just wanted to announce that I'm going on a trip, family trip that's been, begging for me to go on for about 15 years now. Going back to Newfoundland. I'm going back to the island. I'd be targeting some trout, some brown trout, some brookies, and some rainbows, and hopefully a couple cutthroat trout as well. I'm new to trout fishing. I haven't done it in so long that I'm pretty much a new guy, Maybe do a bit of jigging for cod too, get some codfish. But yeah, so stick around. And if you're not subscribed, you might want to subscribe because I'm going to be doing a bunch of trout fishing out on the island of Newfoundland, and it should be some good content. As for today's video, today I'm going to try to explain the Carolina Nightcrawler rig in more detail for you guys, just so you have a general idea of what exactly I'm catching them on, because I feel like if you guys can repeat what I'm doing, you can catch them too. So let's get right into the video and see what I can show you. All right, so as for setup goes, your rod doesn't really matter. Medium action is usually pretty good for smallmouth. I use a 6.6 medium Rapala Scout. And yeah, it says 4 to 12 pound test. I use 8 pound Suffix mono. And then for my weight setup, I use the slip weights. See that guy? Now this weight here, the one that's sliding back and forth, that is dependent on your current or the wind. If you've got heavier wind or heavier current, you want to upsize that weight. This here is I believe this one's a 1/4 ounce. And then I just peg it off with your regular old non-removable split shot. And I wrap that around twice, or else your weight will keep moving it down on you. And then I go about 4 to 6 inches down from there to a Excalibur 1/0 bait, down eye bait holder hook. This is a 1/0 hook. That big gap there helps you get that hook set. The distance, see, I get my finger right in there. And then I'm going to show you how I put the actual Nightcrawler on this setup. That is probably the most important part of the entire setup, is how that worm goes on there. All right. Give you one of these big old juicy Canadian Nightcrawlers. You want to start one end of the Nightcrawler right at the tip and feed as much of this worm on there as you can, to the point where he's pretty much entirely on there before you pull that hook tip through the worm. Then you pull that tip through, and then I grab the tip with my fingers. I grab the tip right there. I'll grab his body and I'll pull that body up, and then I just take that remaining tail, hook it once. The idea behind this is if they just barely hang on to that tail, they're probably going to get the hook, and it seems to work for me quite well. I just figured, I'd let you guys in on my little technique. I'm sure other people use it, but I use it religiously for carp, smallmouth, largemouth, rock bass. Not really panfish. Panfish I sort of just use a jig and a tiny piece of worm. But most of the time, if you can figure out where those smallies are hanging out, this rig is going to catch you one. And a big one too. Normally the biggest fish in the hole will bite this rig first, which is kind of awesome if you ask me. But yeah, let's get to fishing and put that method to practice and show you what I'm talking about. All right. Okay, so as for casting it out there and doing that sort of thing, generally I'll want to try and find some rapids where the water is getting oxygenated, especially this time, mid-summer. And just throw it out there. But the key is to keep your line loose. And you just toss it out there. And you just leave your line limp and loose in the water. And if you see that line starting to tighten up or swim side to side, there's probably a fish on there. That's when you want to reel in all that slack and then set the hook. And that's pretty much there is to it. All right, let's do some fishing and see what's home here today. Man, I got some finicky fish today. Finally got our first fish. Mr. Rock Bass. Man, these guys have some really nice colors on them. Look at that. Stripey golden guy. And we'll get him unhooked and see what else I can catch. Oh, that's a big rock bass. Oh my goodness. Hi, bud. Oh, that's a nice one right there. Beautiful little guy there on the Carolina rigged nightcrawler. Is that a cow? There's a cow over there. Huh. Must be close to a farmer's property. Huh. We got him unhooked. Again, just beautiful colors on these guys. Okay, off you go, bud. Where are the smallmouth today? Well, I figured I'd try above the falls, and I got one. I got one. Got me a smallie. Huh, bud? No wonder I haven't found you guys all night. You're above the falls tonight. You're above the rapids. Oh, I just threw it up there above the rapids. And this guy come flying out of there. Heck yeah. Oh, finally. Yep, like I said, Carolina nightcrawler. Bam. Smallmouth. Beautiful little guy. Probably about 1.5 pounds. Right on. Off you go. Man, I just had a feeling that maybe they're up above the rapids today, because all I was catching was rock bass down below. Oh. Man, this YouTube thing is hard. I'm never gonna give up. Never, ever, ever gonna give up trying to make content for you guys. Yeah, I got one on the whopper plopper. Heck yeah. Hi, bud. Hi, bud. Heck yeah. Right on. Hi, bud. Oh yeah, you're gonna try and get me in trouble looking at my hand, aren't you? Heck yeah. All these fish are just, look at them all breaching out there. And I just threw this whopper plopper where one was breaching, I got him. Fooled ya. Nice. Got ourselves another one. I don't know if you guys can see that on the GoPro, but the fish are just jumping everywhere. I saw a big explosion, so I threw it at him, and he just hammered it. Oh, what a satisfying feeling that is. Well, we set out what I wanted to do. I caught a couple bass, one smallmouth on the Carolina nightcrawler rig. Just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up about the trip to Newfoundland and the trout fishing that's going to be coming up. And yeah, a couple bonus smallies, one on the nightcrawler and one on the whopper plopper. You can see fish are just jumping like crazy. But yeah, I only had a couple hours after work, and now I got to go home and get ready for tomorrow. Yeah, you know what, the office? Office, ha! More like, I guess it's the office. But yeah, thanks for watching again. And if you do me a solid and hit that subscribe button, like that video, share it with your friends, I'd like that. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to the Bass Newfie again. We'll see you next time. Peace.